The 24 Hours of Le Mans is the world's oldest active sports car race, dating back to 1923. And as you can imagine, after almost a century of racing, Le Mans has undergone numerous changes. In some cases, the existing technologies were tweaked as manufacturers achieved new and sometimes dramatic breakthroughs. One example is tire technology. The very first Le Mans competitors used Michelin tires, and even today the majority of racing teams choose Michelin rubber. In other cases, safety concerns prompted race organizers to ban some features or practices entirely. Gone are the days of the open cockpit design, and single-driver teams are no longer permitted either. However, of all the banned practices, perhaps the most infamous is the Le Mans start. In the early days of Le Mans, the race started in a peculiar way. The drivers stood on one side of the track with their cars parked on the other side. At the drop of the flag, the drivers ran across the track, jumped into their vehicles, started the engine, and drove away. These starts were notoriously unsafe. In their haste to start the race, drivers would often ignore their seatbelts, which were a recent innovation at the time, and sometimes even neglect to properly close the car door. As you can imagine, this unsafe behavior led to race day mishaps and even deaths, as drivers would either attempt to secure the belts while driving or simply choose to not fasten them at all. In 1969, renowned Formula One racer Jacky Ickx protested this dangerous practice. At the start of the race, he refused to sprint to his car along with the other drivers. Instead, he calmly walked across the track, carefully buckled his safety belts, and drove away. Ickx was nearly struck by a competitor's car on his walk, and another racer, John Wolfe, died in a crash on the first lap. Ickx went on to win the 1969 race, and the classic Le Mans start was banned from that point forward. The 1970 race began with a modified version of the classic Le Mans start. This time, the drivers were already seated in their cars and safely belted in. When the flag dropped, the racers started their engines and sped away. But the start of the 1971 event marked the biggest change of all, as the race began with a rolling start, also known as an Indianapolis start, a practice which continues to this day. And it seems this new way to start the race agreed with Jacky Ickx too, as he went on to win Le Mans a total of 6 times in 15 attempts between 1966 and 1985.